Happy Friday, Burke.
Happy Friday. We're back.
This is like saying don't say elephant or don't think about elephants. Like they're right there. It's really difficult.
I'm going to down this whole box in the span of this live stream.
All right. So today, ambitious topic.
Yeah. And let me just say, I'm closing tabs. Is there a way to close like every tab but close other tabs?
You can in Visual Studio. Hey, while you're doing that, let me share my screen. I'll just talk about what I think we're doing today.
Okay.
And I'll introduce things. So add a stage. Cool. This is the URL list. It is an awesome website. The current version is built with Vue, Azure Storage, Azure Front Door, Azure Functions, a bunch of stuff, but it's 5 years old. Some things are broken, including login with Twitter, super flaky. Also, we'd like to have support for other logins. I've got some feature requests I'd love to add in, but I can't really add them in yet when, we couldn't deploy the code, whatever. So there's that. We have been working our way through. We've done all this stuff. We're rewriting it with Blazor, static web apps, the new kind of hotness, everything all hooked together. Got a basic working API. We've got to finish the edit page, which I guess requires some validation.
Does it ever?
We need also some auth at some point for the back end. I've got a PR hanging out there with API unit tests kind of started, some refactoring on it. So yeah, that's, I think, Jasmine, that's what we're hoping to shoot for is validation. Yeah, and there's different ways to do it. I mean, I was looking at, so here's my pull request if you do any backend stuff. Ignore the thing about it failed because it just couldn't deploy to a staging slot. You got to clear that out. I was looking at this a bit for custom validation, and then there's this kind of stuff here. But are you ready you got your tabs cleared? You ready to switch?
Yeah, let me change my resolution so people don't have to watch.
That's cool. Welcome to Cuba. How you doing?
What's up? Yeah, this is going to be fun, and by fun I mean something. Either fun for us or fun for someone else watching us fail at this. But I'll go over what I've learned about this in the past week, and we'll take it from there because I'm almost there, but I'm not quite there, and so sorry about the inception. All right,
it's not shared yet.
Oh, not shared yet. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and throw it out. Let's talk about it.
But I still don't see your screen as available to share.
Oh, sorry. That's your screen.
Correct.
Entire screen. Here we go. Oh wait, we got to share the system audio because we need our music. I gotta have.
Oh yeah.
So share screen. Entire screen.
I think this is also the part of the thing where we both complain about being super busy this time of year.
Oh my gosh.
I've been all .NET Conf and .NET 8 release all the time.
I am just beat, man.
Yeah.
Like, when is Christmas going to be here? That's where I am already. All right, let's go here.
Yep. I'm just going to bounce us around the screen like we're playing Pong or something.
Let's see.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So here's the deal. What we're trying to do, and let's open a new window here on this.
Oh, you got to click on hide the StreamYard block at the bottom.
My bad.
No one else would notice it, but it would drive me crazy.
As you can see, it's working real well.
So Timmy has a good question here, and I have a response.
The named model does not exist. Well, I know it's true, but I can fix that.
Okay.
I'm getting good at C#. Okay.
You're writing a lot of C# these days.
I know. All right.
So the whole thing about the scripted banner is because at the beginning we would say, like here, the title of this is Custom Validation with Blazor Forms, and people will search on YouTube, Custom Validation Blazor Forms, and they'll find a result on the .NET channel, and they'll come watch this expecting a cool, quick tutorial. Is that what they're going to find today, Burke?
I'd be sorely disappointed.
Exactly. They'll ask for a refund. They'll want to speak to the manager.
All right. So can I eat during a live stream, chat? Is that rude? I don't know what the rules are.
They don't. Some people live stream eating like a whole pizza or eating lots of food. Maybe.
Yeah, but then you're like tuning in with the expectation that you're going to watch someone eat, right?
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
super
think
weird.
that should have been in the show description.
We should do that sometime. We'll just eat for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I could do it.
It'll be like a dinner party. It'll be a.
So here's the deal. We need to do two kinds of validation on this field here.
Okay.
Just to remind folks of why that is. Let's go here.
Okay.
Okay, and then we need to do some validation here, which makes sure that number one, the URL actually isn't taken. And we do that by calling the API and asking for a link bundle by this particular vanity. If we get one back, we know it's not available, you can't have it. And why do we do this? Because it's a nice thing to do for users. Otherwise, they got to try to publish it. It's already taken. Publish, already taken, right? It requires a lot of manual labor. The other thing that we want to do is we don't want to let them put things in the URL that we don't want, which you could argue that you should be able to do this or definitely this. But, you don't want to let people do, I don't know, what's an invalid URL character?
Well, I don't know. Like there's some like evil Unicode things.
Yeah, we don't want to let them put anything up there. So we need to validate this. So this one actually isn't too bad, right? But this one we definitely need to do before they hit publish.
Now, question: does it need to be a validator, or can you just handle a key press and?
We could, and that might be the way to go. But here's what I've done so far. So according to the docs, you can the first problem that you have to solve is that the input text only validates on submit. It does not validate on input. And it does not set the value of the model on input. And so what the docs say to do is create a custom component, which I did here, which is not very complex. And all it does is it sets the bind event to on input. As best I can tell, that's all this does. And then when you actually use it here, instead of on submit, it should fire this event on. Well, sorry. All it does is it sets the model value on input, and this is kind of where I'm stuck because you still have to do the on submit in here, right? So it's like submit. I don't want you to do this. We don't actually want to do this. We want to do it on input here. So the other thing that we have to do is we need a custom validation. The reason for this is that there's only, you have to specify the kind of validation that you want to do in Blazor. And so if we look at new link, the one that people are going to use the most often is this data annotations validator. And in our scenario, we actually could use the data annotations validator. To an extent. So here we can use data annotations to make sure that the URL is valid. So let's jump over here to our link bundle for our vanity, and we could add that here.
Yeah, data annotations are pretty cool. So you put an attribute on the property and you just say like, this must be this regular expression, or it must be a string, or whatever.
And we did that here, right?
Yep.
The problem is, in our case, is that we need to call an API and do validation, and then come back and set the thing as invalid.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to intercept. So we need a custom validator, because if you don't tell it what kind of validator to use, it won't validate anything because it doesn't know what you want to use to validate.
Yep.
So instead, we use this custom validator that we've. Come here. Where are you? Let's pin this thing. Pin it. Hey, the Visual Studio does this thing where it like puts tabs on the right-hand side. What is that?
Mm-hmm. Wait, you're in.
I know, but I was in Visual Studio getting ready for this Build AI tour, and I noticed like it put a tab on the right and put some on the left.
So what that is normally is, it has this concept where when you work with a tab or you open a thing, it opens it like it's a kind of temporary thing, and then when you go away or do something else, it'll close. So it's like the tab management's gotten a little bit complex in Visual Studio, like I think in a good way, but it's like, So I honestly don't even know like what it's doing half the time. I just know like when I'm looking for a tab, it's there.
All right, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I hope that's okay, chat. But
yeah, and I think you could stretch it to the right too, because you've got the browser taking up half the screen.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
Collapse. Okay. I can bump this back up. What is this? I click on something. Get me out of here. Okay. All right.
Nice.
Let's go back. Here we go. No, not this. I don't want to pin this. Why did I do that? Get out of here. I want the link bundle component. No, it's link details.
Yeah, so I'm just throwing this out there. I think what you're doing is awesome. I still do wonder about if you want to. So there's two concepts here. You don't necessarily need to validate until you submit the form. And you could do a on key press, just do some checks, like check if the link exists, check if it's like basically do your low key validation.
Okay. So we could
say, know what I mean?
Yeah, we could get this out of here. We could take
I'm not saying to do this
together.
I'm just throwing out, like you could say when you type a key on the text box, it could say like, go do this check. And then if it is, like, I don't know if you like manually mark the thing as invalid, or if you just say, set the class to whatever,
But the thing is, we can't use regular inputs inside of an edit form, right?
No, you can't. But can you still attach? Can you do? You can still like basically intercept a key press on the edit thing.
The input text.
Input text.
Yes. So this is how I tried this originally. And you know what? Let's just change it. So we'll just like and on input.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Validate vanity URL, and then down in validate vanity URL, this actually changes, and it's like events. What is it?
Is it event args?
The change event args. Okay. Oh, okay. And then what you can do is you can check the event args. So you can look at it and say, you're looking, instead of at the model, you're looking at value. String.
So what's kind of, I mean, as an option, then you don't have to kind of hook up custom validation stuff so much, because all you need the validator to do is prevent like actually submitting when it's done. You know what I mean? Like when.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about why this won't work here in a second.
Okay.
Well, let's do it because it kind of works, but not fully.
Okay. This is great.
All right.
I know I'm wrong. I just don't know why yet.
So this is the one that works. This is the one that does not. So let's do. And let's make sure. Here's our validation summary. That is right. And we've got our custom validator. We do not have, where's our custom validator? Did I take that out? Good. Give me an update. Was that not a root edit? Yeah. See?
There it is.
So we're already working. Now here's the problem, John.
Uh-oh.
In this scenario here, which we used in edit form, oops, I could have just done it, right? It adds a class to this element when things go poorly. Okay? It actually adds this invalid. In this case, though, gotta get back. In this case, though, it's not doing that. Whoa, my screen just completely died.
That was cool.
It's not doing that, right? So if we look at this, that's not the right. Come on, help me out. It's still marking this field as valid because it doesn't know, like it's validating the value of that input, but not the model. It doesn't know that this is not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but can you just manually change that class? Like, I could.
But that's not the right way to go, John.
Well, I'm not sure about that because basically, like, I kind of think of this as similar to when I'm submitting a form and I do client-side validation and server-side validation, right? So I do a couple of levels of checks. So first, I'm doing this low-key, easy thing. It's like when you go to the airport and the person at the front of the line checks, do you have a ticket and an ID, whatever. And then you go through security and they actually really check you out, And
they just waste your time because 98% of stuff gets through anyway.
Yeah, but the person, occasionally somebody's going to come to the front of the line with no ticket or something. And then it's like, hey, get out of here with that weak stuff, until you actually even have a ticket. Don't take space in our line. So
John, your mic's real low for me, chat. Is John's mic low? I don't know. Turning up my audio.
I just have to get up on the mic.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to Elton John that bad boy. Ever seen Elton John, how he sings? He literally, his mouth is on the microphone. Oh.
That's what they say you're supposed to do.
Apparently.
So, I don't think it's wrong to mark something as invalid before you run the full validation is just, hey, I'm ready. I think I'm ready to go. Let's submit this bad boy. And then you run it through the validator.
Let me turn this down some. Better. Okay, so we can do that, right? So we can make a custom class here. Let's do that, and then we'll go back through actually what the hell's going on here, including this right here.
Now, I'm not saying I'm right and what you did is wrong. If you got this going with custom validation and you're happy with it, that's totally great. I'm just saying there's different ways to build it.
Kind of, right? It's it kind of works, but not totally. I needed to do that. Really, we just need to add a class there to do that. I don't like. All right. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it the way you suggested, just to get it working. And then when Steve Sanderson comes on here,
yeah,
we'll make a
Maybe
list.
Burke will be like, "What is this hideous validation?"
I know, because there's a lot going on here. I actually don't think I need this. Let me just check and make sure that's the case. We're validating a string. Yeah, we're good. Reading code feels amazing. So let's create a then sorry, I forget.
String.
That's it. And then here we want to say, we're going to say it's valid by default.
Okay.
And if actually this should be an enum, probably valid or invalid, right? You only got two choices.
Yeah. It doesn't. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay. And then here, what we can do is we can say, right, if it fails the validation, we can set that class, right? And Copilot knows. Actually, should do it here because this is where we're displaying the error. So let's do it there. And then if not, we'll just clear it because we're clearing everything here. We'll clear the class.
So for anyone that doesn't know, debouncing is pretty cool. That's so like you don't want to run the check too many times, right? So you're kind of
exactly. And I'll get into that in a sec. Let's just see if we can make this work. But yeah, that's exactly right. And then here, it's just like valid class.
So Timmy's asking for clarification. What exactly are we validating?
Okay. So nothing right now because we got serious problems. We got errors.
But what are we wanting to validate? Is this those two things that you were saying, that it is an available URL?
So first, we want to make sure that you can't put just anything in here.
Can't put garbage.
Right? We want to control what you put in this box. And the second thing we want to do is we don't want to let you pick a vanity. So this is misleading. Okay. It's a vanity. It's not a link title.
Yep.
It's already taken, right? And if I was to open the dev tools here, like let's look at this and let's go to the network. Now watch when I put this in, it's going to make a call. Let's see, not there. Okay. See, it makes a call and the server says 500. So that's not right. Like we need to fix this in the API. So test 1 actually returns a valid response. So we know that we can't do that, right? Okay. Like if we do this, it'll check, returns a 500, and that's how 404 is what it should be returning. Okay. Which just means we didn't find that URL, so you can have that.
How'd you get the 500 before?
I don't know. Something ain't right. Oh. It's broken. Because look, test obviously is a taken URL. It's one of the first ones we used. So my guess is there's multiple in the database somehow, and it's just failing because it does not set up to account for that.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
I think so.
Okay. So let's figure out what is happening here.
You got to promise we will talk about debounce at some point.
We are. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that as soon as we met this work.
All right.
Set attribute on element is not a valid attribute name. Well, it's just this right here, right? Not valid class. Right?
Where are you calling set attribute? This could be one of those stop and restart the watch.
I think we're calling set attribute here. No, I don't know. All right, Control Z your way to freedom. And the editor has
it ain't happy.
Gone nuts. Let's just, while we're here, we'll just reload. It's great. I've been sending these errors to Tim, so this is good. Tim watching, can we get our PM for the C# dev kit on here to watch the stream every week?
That'd be cool.
Surely they have nothing better to do on a Friday. Okay, wait a minute. The parameter.
I follow him on Strava. He's always mountain biking all over the place.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So component attributes do not support complex content, mix of C# and markup, attribute class text. Okay. Why not? Component.
So I think maybe you need to do like the at and then put it in parentheses or something. You need to maybe bind it differently. Valid class? Not vanity class.
Thank you.
There's some sort of funky markup you got to do. You're missing double quotes. It says, I don't know about that.
Where? Oh, wait, I am.
Yeah. Look at that. Thank you very much, Zaki.
Yeah, this is not right. Let me.
How do you bind? But you know, binding in a quoted thing.
This works on HTML messages. Let's see.
Maybe it was right and it was this double quote.
Class valid. That's what I did. I did.
You did. Maybe it was that double quote then. Maybe, and then I led you astray with the parentheses.
Ben, I don't think so, but let's see. Yeah. Mixed C# and markup attribute class.
So you could, a cheesy way to do it is like, you can do parentheses and you could like write in the other stuff as C# string.
Oh, these other classes.
Yeah, but that's awful. Okay,
This is-
Chad, tell
is
us
this
what to
something you
do.
should- Class. I'm gonna Google this.
Okay.
I don't know why they don't, because that seems like a common use case.
Yeah.
I need to read my Stack Overflow. Okay, what are they saying to do? On click, increment score.
Yeah, but that's change class names. Looking up John Hilton. He's usually a good one.
Component attributes do not support complex. Here's one.
Okay,
Here's
people
a
are telling us we
issue.
need capital C class. What?
Dan Roth is in here. Let's
Look at
see. Class form control.
Okay, so check out the comment I got up here.
All right, what you got?
Timmy's
Hold
been on fire
I can't
today.
see. I can't see. I can't see.
Okay, capital C class.
What's the comment? What does it say?
It says you can't use input text lowercase class. You have to use input case uppercase class because you're using the built-in field and it doesn't support propping to the HTML class field directly.
That doesn't look like it's the case. Let's try.
Well, did you try? What? It's still not working?
It's not working.
Timmy. Well, we're all it's confusing. I still think you do want that capital C class though, but
let's see. I find myself doing this, which is exactly what we're saying.
But it's you want multiple classes and you only want to bind one of them. So that I think is where I would do the at parentheses and I would do the one thing plus the other stuff. Yeah. Okay. Look, like class equals. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this is an idea. I'm not sure if you can use this interpolation, but this is an idea.
Yeah, the interpolation would work. So this is an open issue. What does Dan, I find myself doing, what does Dan say? But I'm curious. Currently, this issue is in our backlog with no committed time frame to address it. Dan, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay, yeah, we can interpolate because I don't think we have a choice. So
it's just $sign. The $sign is before the quote.
well, first of all, we need to do this, don't we?
I'm not sure. Because when it's capital C, maybe.
We're using here.
So
and then it's $sign quote.
I think because we're input text, you need to do capital C. I'm still believing what Timmy said.
See here in a minute. So then we're going to do all of this stuff and then this.
Then you put that in the curly brace. Yeah.
And all of this is because we can't get the thing to validate correctly, which I hate so much. Input large a bit. Okay, so maybe.
Okay, I got a good feeling about some of this.
No, man, we cannot beat this thing. Class input valid class.
The name.
Is it because do we not need? Can we just do this now?
That's what I'm. Okay, well. No, that's not good. You can't escape the quote like that. I think you could get rid of the first quote. Before the $sign.
Negative.
This is tiny text. I'm embarrassed, honestly. This should be easy.
Blazor input text class binding.
Okay.
No input text. See it like you get a lot of input stuff here.
You got to say no. I want input text.
Yeah, which is what I said. Didn't I say that? I said input text.
So Zaki's saying, why not model valid text? But this is, I've sent Burke down a road of difficulty, but this should be easy. You know what? Well, I hesitate to say this. I think you can have more than one class tag on a. You could have an uppercase class and a lowercase class.
What happens if I do this? Will it allow this? Okay, it will allow that.
So then you can create the whole thing on the.
I could, but there's no reason we can't like this is valid C# here, right? So we should be able to say, maybe it's like this.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No. I mean, maybe.
So
that's usually for a handler.
So can we say,
not a property. Can you do so putting that in parentheses, does that work? At parentheses valid CSS.
Affirmative. So can we then say
valid CSS plus? Oh yeah, okay, try that. I was going to say you could just do valid CSS plus quote blah blah blah.
Yeah, but I'd rather interpolate because it's nicer. But will it? Whoa. Easy. Take it easy.
This is so silly. Okay, so there.
Come on, give me the Zuck. Okay, yes. That's promising. Oh, we haven't wired that up yet. Okay.
Okay, what is going to happen?
Nothing.
Okay, come on now. I gotta.
on, man.
Oh, did it not work?
Expect.
Is it working?
Class invalid. It is working.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
there it is. I got it backwards. We have it backwards. Don't we? No. So it's valid. And then I put in this.
It's invalid.
No, it's still valid. It did not change. It's not changing it
Oh.
until we leave, and then it changes it.
So that's the actual validation. It's not. So you.
No. It's not updating the class. It's not updating the class until we leave.
So what fires that event?
It's here.
Okay. So what is calling that method?
I think we need to do notify state has changed.
It's like a do event.
No. Does it does it when you leave too, though? Why does it do it when you leave? Is it resetting the class?
So when you leave the thing, then so
it goes away.
That's the debounce thing, right?
No.
Okay.
Like, look, I just took it out and it didn't change. Oh.
It's that validation shouldn't be in the debouncer.
Yeah, right here. It should be in the debouncer. Boom. Yeah, boom. Okay. So also, let me just check that it goes out on blur. It doesn't need to. Why does it do that? It does it twice.
Because it's angry. It's like I told you.
It didn't do it twice the second time. It did it again. It removes the.
It's like, come on, Burke, get it right. I think it's just a little more emphatic that way.
But it removed the message went away, but this did not go away.
Because because you've got a validator and your like little custom class setting.
Here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to do. I have this.
Yeah, Gregory White, you could manually call the event when you leave it.
Look it. I got it.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to talk about, oh no, gosh. Why is it doing that? That doesn't even make sense.
Okay, so wait a minute. It's when you leave the field, it shakes again.
Not every time. So look. Okay, that's right. Let's leave. Fine. Okay, now let's go back. Now let's leave again. It's still fine. Take it away. Let's put it back. Tab out. What's going on?
I think we're good.
Now. There we go. I think it's the debounce. I think you're right.
So, do you need?
I don't actually. It's okay. It's okay. I don't want to debounce this.
That's what I'm saying. You only want to debounce the one that's making the API call.
That is exactly right.
Cool. Okay, we're good.
In which case,
because you can validate immediately on key press. The only thing you're worried about debouncing is the.
Yes, you were right, John.
Okay. Woo.
I apologize. Okay. Oh, rude edit.
Rude.
I feel like we are doing the impossible here.
Hey, I mean, things are happening.
The only thing is, like, I feel like it slows down the typing here because it's like doing a bunch of checking, but what are you going to do? Oh, it's still doing it though. That's so weird.
Okay, so here's the thing, you need to not. Oh, so you have no debounce happening.
No, I'm taking it out. No debounce.
Okay. Is something causing it to fire? So I feel like now. It's
Hold
like
on, one
accept?
second. 1 second. Unacceptable. So what is happening here? First of all, let me take this out for just a second because I'm not 100% sure about that.
Seems good. You can't break a Burke. It's perfect.
I just did it. Just did it though. Y'all saw it. Ah, there it is.
Okay, what can you describe what you're doing that's breaking? Because I'm not seeing anything wrong.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is so for here, right, this field is invalid. It has an @ sign, but it thinks that it's valid. Right, because you don't see the text. Text is gone.
Oh, so you're talking about the validation message.
Right.
So I think
and it appears to be strictly timing.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure the debounce is out here. And and then we'll just kind of like enter this as a bug.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because it feels like that's a hard one to reproduce. It took you a while. I feel like what's important is when you click publish, like it's shown you the message. You're able to get the validation message to go away. As long as when you click publish, it shows that validation message again. I would know what to do, like when I'm filling it in, you know?
And it shakes again. So it's like it removes the class. So it's valid. So then it should remove the class and then it adds it back. It adds it back.
Does it? I wonder what the class, can you inspect that in the browser tools? I wonder if it has both like valid and invalid or something.
Oh. Valid.
See, invalid. It has valid and invalid.
Ah.
It's in a quantum state.
How the heck did that happen? I feel like the validator is now setting it.
Yeah.
Correctly. Am I a liar? Did I tell you something that wasn't true at all? Hold on. I don't want to do that. I want to.
It took us so long to get that
working and then we don't need it at all. Are you serious? Oh, I know why it's happening. Because when we tab out, it actually is.
It's running the validator.
Yes, because the edit form is doing that.
And when you tab out, it causes a key press event and a validation event.
But why it shouldn't set it back to valid? What's setting it back to valid?
So your validator is separately setting that valid class. Right? Where's your validator thing? Custom.
This is like a generic class. It doesn't actually do anything. Right? It's just like there's no logic in here at all. The logic all happens here. It adds an error. And if there are any errors, and it adds an invalid class.
I think so I think the input text built-in behavior is to set valid or invalid when it runs validation, because you have a validation set up to it, right? You've got a model set. The model has those fields, all that stuff.
That's why it just marked this as valid. It's not valid. It's invalid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck?
Okay. So is your validator running?
This thing here.
Well, so that is your validation event that you've created. But what about the validator? Is there a validator set for that element? Input text. So you do have the model set.
I'm curious. Let's do this.
Yeah, or you could do the good old log. Ooh, go and debug.
I am. Don't see this much in VS Code, to be honest. So close to fixing this, I feel like. Okay, so boom, break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's invalid.
And custom validation, clear errors. Yep.
Okay. And then I'm going to do. Oh, it's going to do this every time. I don't actually want to do this. I want it to be here. Yeah, it's invalid. That's
now
right.
You want to tab out of that field.
It's invalid. That's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to tab out. Not fired.
Okay. The reason is because that method does not get called by the validator.
But I'm not resetting. I'm not right. The only reason why it should do that is if we clear the errors.
Sorry, so I think so. Your custom validation, this method isn't running when you tab. So instead, the validator, the input text, is looking at its data attributes and all that, and it's running the validation itself. Okay, so Adrian's saying we're missing data annotation validator.
It didn't do it that time it did it. We're not using data annotations.
Okay, so here's what I think yeah. So there's nothing, that method that we wrote there for the on click and stuff, there's nothing to run that method when you tab out of it.
Oh, so we need to tab out. We need to have a on blur.
Yeah.
Blur? On blur. Okay, yeah.
Blur.
I'm losing my mind. Like this?
I think so. That's weird that
Do not convert from a method group to an event callback.
Anoop's saying, can we use on key press instead of on input? That would catch both of them. That's weird that
we
on
can't
input-
pass.
you have to do
I don't think it likes this change event args, right? So
oh, it's not change anymore. It's a different event args. It's a different args.
if we take this out, my guess is it's gonna like that. Yeah. But I need that. Keyboard event args, maybe?
Sounds good.
Oh, is that right? Did we get it? Like,
Oh,
it's not E dot. Not key. I need the whole. It's the key press. I need the whole freaking value.
yeah. So you need there's a thing for that. It's like sender. It's the
But I wonder, can we now do?
you can pass it in the Lambda syntax, right?
You mean like this?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah, and then pass, and then put a parentheses after validate vanity URL and pass something in.
You pass like you get keyboard event args.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do I reference?
My brain is not braining today. You want to pass self, basically, is what it would be. And you know what I mean? You want to pass a reference to the input text.
I just pass it there. Like, how do I specify that first parameter? Oh, it needs to be like this. We can do like.
You want to pass?
Yeah. So,
yeah, this is seeming too complicated.
object sender.
That sounded good.
Yeah, but what is object sender? Object sender. And now what is it? What's going to be our an object, so it doesn't know anything about it.
Okay, wait, we're getting some things. We can just reference the model directly. Oh no,
yeah, but the model's not being actually set here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless John, check this out.
Okay, there's a lot of comments in the chat that are trying to have some ideas too.
What do they say?
They're saying you can reference model in the validation method and ignore the event args.
But the model's not being set until blur. Oh.
Oh.
What? Wait. All we have to do then. Okay, hold on. I think I've got this.
Okay.
So we still want on input. Okay. We still want this. We still want. Whoa.
Whoa, that was hot.
Yeah. Sheesh. And then on key press, we're gonna be. I'm a B. What we're gonna do is we're gonna call a different method here. We're gonna change this. Okay, and then our on input takes our keyboard event args. And hold on. Bear with me for a second.
you can just reference the element itself. The element has an ID, right? You can just say whatever.value.
On change. We're so close. Change event args? No. Keyboard event args. So it's actually opposite. Okay. So on input and is it on change or on key press? What did I say? On key press. So on change on key press. Bear with me. Hold on. We got this. We got this.
Right.
And then
On input. Yeah.
it's gonna call this every time.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because you don't need. You can. So you're passing the whole string in.
Right, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
And then here we actually call the validate. Passing it, and we don't actually need anything here anymore.
Yep. And people are pointing in the chat, we're kind of mixing some models, right? We're like directly working with the thing, and we're also doing two-way data binding against the model.
Yeah, we're forcing the change.
And I realize I'm contradicting stuff I said in previous weeks, where I was like, we should be using the model binding.
But I feel like my custom input does this, right? Like
okay.
our custom
well, so that's
input
yeah.
already does this.
Okay.
Binding the model on input, so we don't need to do that. No, it's on key press. Yeah, that's right. Need an at? Yeah, there we go. Sorry. All right.
All right.
So we don't need this anymore, ideally. And really, we can simplify that. .watch. That should work. Feature requests. Come on. Don't give it to... Nope. Oh, it's already in use. Sweet. I don't even know what to do now. Like, how do you... Oh, it's because it's running here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're all right. Come on, man.
All right.
I don't want to do it.
You can do it, Burke.
I'm afraid. Also, let me put a console write line in here to make sure that we're actually like...
Boom.
Boom.
Using emojis.
Should have. Can you wait? Can you write emojis to the?
Yeah.
To the. Ghost.
Nice. Okay. I'm excited about this.
Already in a bad state. Is this the right? Hold on, that might be the wrong DevTools instance. Yeah. Okay. So here's the tab out. No event. No event. On key press. Isn't firing anything. That's weird, isn't it?
I don't know if you want to use ghosts everywhere.
Oh, that's true. I won't know. Yeah, it's not firing. Oh, okay. It just doesn't fire on tab, so I know that's going to solve our problem.
So that's, yeah, on key press. Well, that's weird. That's an on blur, right?
It's on blur. That's correct.
Blur. I like that it's called on key press. So now you got to change your event arg because it's no longer a key press, it's an element.
I should be refactoring stuff, but I'm not. I'm not doing it all. Ain't anybody got time for that.
On blur. Okay. It's exciting.
Ghost.
Ghost.
And it's stealing my focus. It's blurring the field when I hit enter, when I input.
Okay.
My custom input text.
I mean, now we're on you're doing your custom business.
Yeah.
You're binding to on input.
Huh?
I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just saying.
And this is what this is from the docs.
But what is this guy doing? What is the custom input thing adding for us?
Just setting it's saying, okay, it's an input and the bind event is on input. That's all it's doing.
Okay.
But I wonder if we could pass in. But
What
why
is
it
it
taking?
Okay. I get it. So we were using an input text element and you want to take more control of it to
Right,
get
I'm overriding it and saying this is what I actually want from you.
Okay.
But why is it taking my focus?
Is it because we're running validation on input?
But we're not anymore. There's nothing calling that. We're only doing it on blur now.
The thing calling on input is custom input text on blur key binding.
Why is it doing that? Doesn't make any sense.
So did this just start happening when we switched from input text to custom input text?
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like that's the thing.
Right. Wait, how do I...
So you're binding to the on input, which is, I think, conflicting with the other.
Conflicting with what? The blur?
Yeah.
I mean, we could remove that. I think the behavior is going to be the same.
Well, we needed that. Yeah. I'm just thinking if we're using custom input text, maybe we need to set on blur in there as well.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, let's try this in our custom input text. Let's take this. Let's just take this out for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now it's never binding at all.
Never binds at all, but this is what is doing it.
Yeah. So I feel like we've got two things happening, which is that on input is fine. That's one level of validator. That's our level 2 validator. Wow, if it gets this, I'm going to be... Maybe due to other parts of your code.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Shouldn't be doing
that.
Can we, like, what happens if we...
Hey, Burke, when somebody says VS Code, what does VS stand for?
Visual Studio.
Oh, there you go. We got a question here. All right.
This doesn't make any sense.
I feel like it is... I feel like we're mixing like 4 different models together, and they're all saying like pick a lane. So
if we just do input text, oh whoa, go back. It's like we know this works, right? We know,
yeah,
to a degree.
So the only downside to this was what? That it's not that we're getting that weird blur effect.
Yes, doing strange things to us.
So we have some options. Like one is we just use an input field. We don't use the validators. We just set properties and validate and stuff manually. Yeah. So Julian, yeah, we are validating on every key press, but we're kind of in this weird thing where we don't necessarily want to do the whole validation. We just want to set indication on the form. But okay, so now I'm getting twisted around. It didn't validate now.
Now it's not.
Okay.
I think maybe because we're not calling. I think we have to call state has changed.
Mm-hmm. Now, going way back, you said you had all this basically working with a custom validator?
Yeah, we're in the same place we were when I told you that. There we go. Okay. So now it sticks around. I was like, yeah.
So
when it leaves again.
Question here, we're using .NET 7. So this is Blazor in .NET 7.
Leaves again on blur. And it's not, where is our class? Did we take that out? Let's take it out.
Bind model equals model class. Oh, you've got the lowercase class.
That's fine.
Wait. I think you need a capital C. Yeah.
And then, how are we doing this before?
Then you can interpolate there, right?
Right. We don't need the quotes here. Interpolate here.
I think you. Oh. Yes. And then a quote at the end. Oh, we'll single quote it, double quoted you. Trying to help. It's looking promising.
Not exactly. What does it say? Hold on.
Builder 2 does not exist.
Model does not exist, doesn't it?
I think you may need to kill it and restart. That's my answer to everything.
Tried restarting it.
Yeah, so Anthony's asking what version we're using. We're not on .NET 8 yet. RC2 just came out
Yeah, John. Oh, no. Your audio's gone for me, at least.
Okay.
You're back.
All right. Okay, so is it working?
No. Valid. It's not valid. It's invalid.
See, it's not actually interpolating that thing. See, it has the braces valid class.
Oh, yeah. It just sees it as being a string. Did I do that wrong? I probably interpolated it wrong. No, I did it right. Oh, look at this. Check us out. Check us out. No, wait, hold on. No, that's right. No. It doesn't know. It's not.
You could, oh, you don't have a $sign before the quote. Boom.
There we go. That was it. I saw it.
Cool.
Just need to figure out why this is sometimes happening.
Yeah, it's like David had it. So I was on my rant about what version we're on. We're not using .NET. We're not using .NET 8 yet. We're on .NET 7. We're running in Azure. We're using Blazor static web apps. So we're using kind of the official release version. I'm excited to move to .NET 8 when it ships in a month. But a lot's been changing with Blazor over the past 6 months through the process. Okay. So what are we thinking?
So I think we call it, right? Like, because it's obviously invalid here.
I mean, if I saw this form, I would also think it's invalid. I think the most important thing, maybe we like log a bug, like improve validation, because what you really want is when you click publish button, what happens?
Nothing right now. I mean, that's going to be on submit, right? The publish button is the submit. Right, this is left over from type is submit. Art, wait a minute. Is there like a custom element for this in
Oh,
is there? I feel like maybe there is.
Blazor forms.
Oh, and in this case, we're just hitting enter to submit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's an on valid submit button. Yeah, you just need a button submit.
It's type submit, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it up here above this. Just put it right here. I need to go into Debouncer because we're not doing it.
But we did want to talk. Let's talk at least about why you were doing debounce. So the idea with the debouncer is you don't want to every single time someone presses a button keep pinging. Like if I type 20 characters, I don't want to do 20 URL requests. So you want like a little bit of a wait before pinging the server for it to like settle out. And you go like, okay, you're done typing. Now I'm going to hit the server.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple, the debounce, if we look at it. It just sets a timer, and basically what it does is it waits for 300 milliseconds. Well, you specify the time, 300 milliseconds, and it sets a timer, and if you hit the key again within that 300 milliseconds, it resets the timer.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't actually run the event that gets passed to it until no keystrokes have occurred in that 300 milliseconds. And what that does is it stops the thing from firing every single time someone hits the key if they're typing real fast.
Cool.
You're just reducing the number of calls that you're making to a function by waiting for the user to pause.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to have a problem here, John, because it does think that this field is valid.
Even when you hit publish.
Yeah. Because when we tab, like if I tab out, when I blur it, tries to add this, now it won't, right?
Why did, so it called on valid submit, even though you have an invalid title. So what is, so why aren't we using the data annotations?
It's as soon as the field blurs is when everything gets weird.
Yeah, but okay. So what I would think is the form binds to the model. Is there a reason we don't have data annotation validator hooked up?
We can have it for this specific use case.
That's what I feel like there. That'll get.
That will fix this specific use case, but it will not fix the case where we're actually calling the API to see if this is available. Right?
Okay. That should that be a separate thing that's part of the, should we recheck it when you click publish anyways?
We can, but we just need to figure out like why is it when we blur? And I think why couldn't we do an on blur event here?
Yeah, just do equals on blur and then let's create an event.
On blur take. Nothing? It doesn't pass event of any kind?
When I look, is there on blur?
Let me try. Use event args? Take that? Yeah, okay.
Event args.
And then what is E? What does E have?
Huh. That's not a lot.
All right, it's all right. We can just do this. I mean, this is so hacky at this point. Validate vanity URL, and then here it needs to change event args. Will it let us pass change event args to the blur? Saying no?
Oh no.
No, because here we need to call this method.
Or could we not? Do we need? Yeah. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Right? We're getting a little bit.
Yeah, you're just working directly off the model.
I'm doing it myself, man.
All right.
Taking over for Blazor.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then it's invalid. Oh, it's still invalid. Wait, the name E does not exist. Oh, wait. Hold on.
We may, by the time we've written all these events and stuff, we may just want to go back to an input and not do an edit form.
So weird. It's doing it again. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's whenever it sets the model, It removes the focus. How do we set the focus back? Oh, this is not even.
Timmy's asking if we're not binding to the model.
That's a good question.
Oh boy.
Gross.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's check about the binding to the model. And then I think we should talk through what we got. We are binding to the model. It's weird that we're binding to the model there instead of on the form though, right? Wouldn't you normally, we're binding to the model twice? That's a little weird that we're doing bind value there and we'd bind to the model above too.
I think that's the answer. We don't actually need to do that. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't like it.
Yeah. So I feel like we should restate the problem and then kind of take some notes and wrap up for the week. Whoa. Okay. That was something there.
Looks like you have to have a model.
Okay.
Requires a value for value.
So we should bind to the control, not the form. So the form should not. It's weird. I mean, it depends if you're binding to a complex model or something. In this case, we're binding to a simple field. I think that the thing with normally with an edit form, you're binding to a complex model that has a lot of properties and you validate like the entire model on submit and stuff like this. In this case, we're working with a single string.
Have the model, but whenever we set the model, it removes the focus from this element.
I feel like we're binding two things to the same thing. Right? We're binding to the model for both the form and the element.
Oh, because it's the exact same thing.
That's what I'm saying. So let's we've been going an hour and a half. We should probably wrap up and kind of like take some notes for next time.
Okay.
That's not good.
Yes, but just let me try one more thing. Who wants to hang out?
You're like, I'm so close.
I can't stop. Now just. But now it's working. Look.
Oh.
Kind of. No. I mean, it's working. It's working. No. Yeah, no. It's never mind. All right, we'll regroup. I think we need to ask. Oh, I'm gone next week, but
okay.
We need to ask someone, why is this the case? Because this custom input should take care of all of the craziness, and I don't know why it's refusing. Why it's removing the focus.
Well, and I'm going to share out too. We have this whole thing. This is open source, right? So I'll share the thing in the chat. We take pull requests. If somebody wants to take a shot at this, we are happy for that.
Yeah.
But I think
love to take that PR.
My high level view on this is we're doing a few things. We're trying form validation using the edit form and an input text, but we're also kind of intercepting our validation at the input level because we want key press level response to the user. We have a debouncer and all that. My gut feel on this is we should not use an edit form. We should just use a simple form, HTML form with text, and do our own validation and then we manage the blur and the, you know what I mean? We're not like,
we'd be done by now.
yeah, I think that's what we want to do because
Yeah,
that's my gut feel.
we're mixing patterns.
That's what I'm saying. We're mixing edit form because where edit form shines is a thing where you've got like you're placing an order, right? And you got to fill in your name, address, you're putting in a credit card, you've got a phone number. Yeah. We're validating one field. So I think instead, and we want to do it on key press and we want to debounce and all that. So my gut feel is just do it on events.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. So you're out next week.
I am.
And I don't even know. Things are going to get crazier as we get near .NET Conf too. So we'll
Might be
see
sparse
when we get here. Brad. Okay.
I may just go in and like do this.
Yeah.
The next time we get together, we can just be like, we did it.
That sounds cool too.
All right.
All right. You did not finish the Cheez-Its. I'm a little disappointed.
This is a family size.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. I think this was interesting. I honestly, I do feel like I'm learning more about like what to apply where and stuff. So
certainly, like I know a lot about custom validation in Blazor now. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
Like way more than I ever wanted to.
Well, and I think it is something where like I would use it for certain cases, but also knowing when not to use it is good too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cool.
All
right. Thanks for the help, everybody. I think a lot of MVPs. I think Timmy jumping in with a lot of good suggestions today. So thanks.
Thank you, Timmy.
Okay. Well, it's time to bounce. Thanks for watching.
See ya.